I've been teaching how to do equations this way ever since I started teaching. And that would be 20 years ago. Is that true? 11, 19 years ago. I've been teaching math this way. Whenever I show people how to do this up here, Mr. M sometimes walks in, and I have to give credit where credit is due. Guess where I learned how to do it this way? Mr. M, he taught me math when I was at the school, back when I was 12. And so I'm teaching you the same exact way Mr. M taught me. And I've taught at the other school that I taught it this way, and I'm going to teach it this way to you. Now, I've come up with a story that I don't remember Mr. M telling me, but maybe he did, I don't know. But here it is. Let me explain. An equation, it has an equal sign, yes? Equations have equal signs. It's an open sentence when there's a variable, meaning that we have to find the answer, right? When there's a variable, we have to find the answer. Something like this. Easy ones. We'll go like this. X plus 2 equals 5. Everybody knows that answer. I'm not saying nobody doesn't know the answer. I'm just going to show you how to solve this so that when there's questions up here that aren't so easy, you'll know how to do it. Does that make sense? I have a very strict way that you must solve equations my way because it works. So, when you're in my class, and if you're in an advanced math class in 6th grade, you're probably going to be in an advanced math class in 7th grade. And who teaches that? Oh, yeah, that's right, I do. And who teaches advanced math class 8th grade? Oh, yeah, no, that's me, again. So, you've got me 6th, 7th, and 8th grade math, and I want you to do it this way. You're stuck doing it this way for 3 years. Does that make sense? You have no option. You might as well learn how to do it right now, doing it right, so that, there's lots of ways to do this. You're all going to learn how to do it my way because it works. And it's a good story. Here's the story. You ready? Variables are hermits. Variables are hermits. What's a hermit? What is a hermit? That's a Kermit the Frog. Yeah, no. What is a hermit? What's a hermit, Sladen? Okay, right. Now, why is it called a hermit crab? No, all crabs have shells. No, that's not why they're called hermit crabs. What's a hermit? Nobody knows what a hermit is? You ever think in a fairy tale that there's a hermit? A what? No. A hermit is somebody who wants to be alone. A hermit is somebody who wants to be alone. Shh. Variables are hermits. They want to be alone. Here's how this is. Every time you start an equation, I don't care what the deal is. Anytime you start an equation, you're going to do this for me. You're going to draw a line down the equal sign. You should write this down right now, right? This is certainly one of the ones that you should be writing down. You're going to draw a line down the equal sign. Every time you do an equation, for me, you will draw it with a line down the equal sign. That is the first step. I even say to the 8th graders, okay, what's the first step to solving this equation? And the answer is? Draw a line down the equal sign. That's what you do. What this does is this separates. There's two houses here. There's two houses here in this equation. There's this house on one side of the equal sign, and there's another house on the other side of the equal sign. Okay? Two houses. The variable is a hermit, and hermits want to be alone. Is the variable alone in his house? No. There's somebody in his house with him, and he hates it. Who's with the variable? There's a 2 there. There's a 2 in his house. What is the 2 doing in his house? What is the 2 doing to him? He is bothering him, yes, but it is adding to him. Does that make sense? There is a +2 in his house. That 2 is being added to the x. The x wants him out. He's got to kick him out. How would he get rid of plus 2? How would he get out that 2 out of his house, Emily? Minus 2. Exactly right. Now, here's the deal. He's going to minus 2 here from out of his house. Here's the rule. Okay, here's one of the rules in equations. Remember, this equal sign, is it asking you if each side of that equation is true? Is the equal sign asking you if this here is equal to this? Is it asking you that? No, it is not asking you that. It is telling you that. It is telling you that this side over here is equal to this side. Agreed? X plus 2 is equal to 5. It's telling you that. You could think of an equation like this. Think of it like a balance. Have you ever heard of a balance or a scale? What's a balance or a scale? What's a balance?
Something that you use to balance weight.
Right. People use balances to see how much something weighs. What they do is it looks like this. It looks a lot like this. You know what I'm talking about? You have the little scales thing, right? If you put a rock on one of the sides, what's going to happen? If I put a rock over here, what's going to happen? Right? If I put, all of a sudden, if I put 3 rocks over here and there's only 1 rock over here, what's going to happen? Right? An equation is telling you that they are equal. It's telling you that they are balanced. That's what it's telling you. That x plus 2 is equal to 5. Does that make sense? It's telling you that. Now, here's one of the rules. Anytime you have an equation, you are not allowed to be out of balance. You are never allowed to be out of balance. So, if the variable who wants to be alone wants to get rid of the plus 2 that's on his side, he's going to take away 2 from that side. In order for him to take away the 2 from his side, he also has to, how would it stay balanced, people? If I take away 2 from right here, what do I have to do to keep it balanced, Sladen? Take away 2 from the other side. As soon as I take away 2 from the hermit's side, I have to take away 2 from the other side because it has to stay balanced. No matter what you do to the equation, you got to do it to both sides. You can't just do it to one. Does that make sense? It has to stay balanced. So, you see my scale here. I'm going to rewrite everything. X plus 2 equals 5. Line down the equal sign. The variable's not happy because he's not alone. There's a 2 there. What's the 2 doing to him? It's adding to him. He hates that. How is it going to get rid of that adding 2? He minuses 2 from that side. The second that he minuses 2, before you do anything else, he has to subtract 2 from the other side. You've got to keep it balanced, right? You take off 2 over here. Got to take off 2 over here. That way it'll be balanced. Notice I put a line there. So let's separate this. Here's the thing. I have x plus 2 minus 2. Why did I subtract 2 in the first place? Why did I do that? To get that 2 out of there. Agreed? I did the minus 2 to get him out of there so that the x would be alone. Technically, plus 2 minus 2 is 0. I could put x plus 0 over here. Do I need to put x plus 0? Is there any point to that? No. I subtracted 2 so that x would be alone. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to cross those guys out. I'm crossing them out because the reason why I subtracted 2 was so that I would be able to get rid of that plus 2. Agreed? Now, what's left on that side? Just the x. Absolutely true. You're right. Just the x. Now, here's the thing. Have you ever seen, if I was to take a picture of just this, Have you ever seen something that looks just like that? What, maybe like in what, kindergarten? First grade? 5 minus 2 with the line under it. And ooh, there it is. What is 5 minus 2? 3. The equals signs always stay on the line. Equals signs always stay on the line. When you're done, my preference is that you circle the answer. Once you get to variable equals number, that you circle it. You don't, I mean, it's not a huge deal if you don't circle it, but at least it lets you know, boom, there's the answer. In your answer column, you're going to put 3? No, what do you put in the answer column? X equals 3. Because that's what we're trying to solve for here. We want X to be alone. He equals 3. Question. What now? No, you can't. I'm going to show you guys this. I mean, I always, this year they changed the book a little bit here, and they go through this really slow, which is fine. It will give you a lot of practice on this really simple concept, but the most important part, Reed, is that I know you know this stuff, but I'm not positive, and I'm certainly not convinced that you know how I want you to do it. And you might get every answer right. If you don't show your work my way, guess what? That's what you get for your homework. You don't show your work my way, this is what you get. So you've got to do it my way. Okay? I'm aware that some of these are easy. So let's do this. I'm going to give you one that's real simple. Do you think that I'm worried that you don't know the answer? No. I know you know the answer. What am I looking for? Can you do it my way, right? Can you show your work properly? Here we go. I'm going to give you one here. What about this? Solve that properly, please. You all should be done. Here we go. What's the first step, Reed?
Make a line down.
Awesome. That is the answer. Draw a line down the equal sign. The next thing you do is you check to see if the hermit or if the variable is happy, right? Is the variable happy? No. Why not? Because he's not alone. That's the answer, is he's not alone. Okay. Why is he not alone? Who's with him? There's a 12 there. What's the 12 doing to him? It's adding to him. Okay. He's got to be alone. How is he going to get rid of adding 12? How does he get rid of adding 12, Jared? Minus 12. The second that he does that, before I do anything else, as soon as you make this scale unbalanced, you've got to fix the scale. Minus 12, minus 12. Notice this. Be neat about this. If you will be neat and you line up your place values, then this is so simple and so straightforward. Yes, right now, you don't have to worry about that too much. Believe me when I tell you that when you get into algebra, some of these things take up the whole page. An equation might take up the page. And so if you aren't lined up and you don't keep things straight and square, then you're going to be messed up. One little mistake. I just told my algebra students that at the end of chapter 6, there's one question that they have that takes up the whole page, and there's like 30-something steps. If you mess up on one step, then the problem's wrong. And there's like 30-something steps. So, yes, right now, this is real simple, and there's like 2 things to do. But be in the habit of lining things up, being super neat, so that you stay that way when we get into much harder problems. Okay? Line across. Did you all remember the line across? Did you remember the line across? Remember to put that there. You're separating. Once you do a step, once you take care of once you mess with the balance, I would put a line across so that it shows that you're done with that step. What am I allowed to do with this? Cross it out. The reason why I subtracted 12 was so that I could cross it out. Technically, it's y plus 0, but we don't need to put the plus 0. So now we can bring down the y equals. The equal sign stays on the line. 23 minus 12. If you've lined it up right, you just get to do it right here and do the borrowing and all the, you know what I mean? Like it's all lined up perfect and neat right here. 3 minus 2 is 1. 2 minus 1 is 1. The answer is y equals 11. Did everybody get that right?
Yeah.
Get it right? Okay. Let me give you one that is a little bit more I mean, a slightly more difficult. I will show you one that is slightly more difficult. Nothing changes just because, well, let me do this one for you. I'm going to show you this one. What's weird about this one? What's weird about this one, Caleb?
Backwards?
You say it's backwards. The variable is on the right side. Agreed? You need to be able to handle this without any problem. In the end, when you tell me your answer, I'm going to want you to tell me variable equals number. But let's just solve this right now. The variable does want to be on the left-hand side, but that's not the most important thing to him. The most important thing to a hermit is they want to be alone, right? Let's get him alone. Line down the equal sign. Is the variable happy? No. He's got a +3 with him. How do I get rid of +3? -3, -3. They're gone. That leaves me with m equals 10. If you want to leave it in your work column like this, I don't have a problem with that. Totally fine. When you write it in your answer column, how should you write it? M equals 10. Agreed? Do we all understand that? It's not that it's wrong if you put 10 equals m. It's just not it's not perfectly written. It's not written the way I want it, at least. But you should be able to deal with this so that the variable doesn't have to be on the left side to start. If you had wanted to, though, people, look here. The question says 13 equals m plus 3. 13 equals m plus 3. Do you know what you're allowed to do if you want to right now? Line down the equal sign. What am I allowed to do? What am I allowed to do right now if I wanted to? Yeah.
Switch it?
Yeah. I could go m plus 3 equals 13. If I wanted to, I could do that. But it would be nice, believe me, it'll just be better for you in the long run if you don't get into that crutch where you have to have it on the left side. Because some problems are very long. And if you require yourself to have the variable on the left side, then all of a sudden you're doing a lot of extra work. Does that make sense? Anyway. I'm going to give you one that's a little more difficult now. Let's see. I say more difficult. Yeah, whatever. We'll see. 2.6 equals 1.9 plus g. Try that. All right. Dylan, what's the first step to this equation? Thank you. That is the answer. Line down the equal sign. Now, the next thing you do is you look, what? You look to see if the variable's happy, right? Is he happy? No. He's not happy for two reasons. What are the two reasons? What's the two reasons, Jonathan? He is not alone, and he's in the wrong house. Him being in the wrong house, he can live with as long as he's alone, right? All right. Here's the weird part. Pay attention. The variable's not happy because he's not alone. Who's with him? The 1.9. Is the 1.9 adding to him or subtracting him or what? What is the 1.9 doing? Here's the deal. It's not because of this plus sign that 1.9 is being added to him. It's not. If I write the number 6, is there a plus sign after the 6? Is there a plus sign after the 6? When I write the number 6, is there a plus sign after that 6? Is there a plus sign right here? No. Is there one right here? Yes. Right? There's an invisible plus sign in front of all numbers. There just is. If I put a minus there, you'd say it's -6, right? If I had a minus there, you'd say, well, that's -6 or -6. If it's blank, does that mean that it's not positive? Or is this number positive or negative? Positive. Oh, how do you know? There's nothing there, which means that there's a little invisible plus sign there. Does that make sense? In front of this 1.9, there is an invisible plus sign. Does that make sense? It's because of this invisible plus sign that we're going to subtract 1.9, not because of this. It might seem silly right now, what I'm even talking about. You're like, what is the difference? Just trust me. You will learn why there's a difference soon. Okay? You'll learn why it's important that you know that soon. But for now, it's fine. What do I need to do here? How does the variable need to get alone? What do I have to do? Minus 1.9, minus 1.9. Do you see why it's important to be neat at this point? Because all of a sudden I have to line up the decimals, right? Those 1.9s are gone. That leaves me with G over here equals. Now, if I line this up properly and I've been neat, I can do this right here. I don't need to go over there and use any more scratch paper. 6 minus 9, I can't do it. Go borrow from that. That makes it 7, and it's 0.7. Oh, there's my answer. G equals 0.7. Do you see it? You can leave it like that. In your answer column, you would actually have to put G equals 0.7 or 0.7. How many of you got that? How many of you got 0.7 is your answer? What did you get, Caleb?
What? Oh, I got 0.7.
Okay, I just asked if I got it and you didn't raise your hand. Okay. Let me give you 2 practice ones and see if you can get them. Then we'll be done. It's whatever. I can always count. First step on the first equation there, Ellie. First step. Thank you. Line down the equal sign. Is the variable happy? No, why not? There's a 7 there. What's the 7 doing to him? Adding to him. How is he going to get rid of that plus 7 then? Minus 7, minus 7. Oops, that was very poorly drawn. D equals 57. 53 minus 7. D equals 46. How many of you got D equals 46? Excellent. The next one. Oops. What's the first step, Emily? Line down the equal sign. Is the variable happy? Why not? Because the reason why it's not happy is because he's not alone. Okay. Why? So who's with him? What's the 31 doing to him? Adding to him. Because of this plus sign? No, it's not. It's because of the invisible plus sign over here. Again, you'll find out later why that's important. Okay. How do I get rid of that 31? Minus 31, minus 31. Whatever I do to one side of the equation, I have to do the other right away. They're gone. Y equals 82 minus 31 is 51. You can leave it like that, or you can go y equals 51. You can immediately flip it. I don't care. Whatever. How many of you got both of those? Excellent. You guys should be fine. Your homework. Oh, by the way, in your homework, shh. Right, there's your paper. Here's your answer column. You have to have an answer column, and in your answer column, you need to have variable equals number, right? Variable equals number. You must show your work in the work over here, and it needs to be separate. So like for number 2, it's, x plus 3 equals 8. You must. And when you're done, I would like you to box it in or whatever. It needs to be neat and clean. Tomorrow, when we correct your homework, I'm going to come by and look and see that you did your work my way. If you don't, it's fine. You get a 0. So it's not a difficult concept. You just have to do it my way or you get a 0. So if you're looking to get a 0, if that's your goal, there's an easy way for you to do it. And that is, don't do it my way. Your homework. Be patient. Page 132 to 133. 6 to 18 even. And 24 to 29 even, and 31 to 34 even. Okay,